Despite the emphasis on life within the community, Hutterites are permitted to have contact with the outside world. Borrowing books from the local public library often is a favorite form of recreation. Trips from a colony to a nearby town often involve visiting with non-Hutterite friends, and some of those friends might find themselves invited to visit the colony to celebrate a special occasion. Many Hutterite colonies actively participate in their local economies. Some Hutterites are even allowed to run their own side businesses providing services for their neighbors, though never, at least in principle, at the expense of their work in their own community. Buying luxuries and other aspects of consumerism are forbidden, but the occasional personal indulgence might be overlooked, a judicious flexibility that helps in the end to preserve the community's standards. Although Hutterite communities do not permit their members to run for office in the secular government, other forms of civic involvement are permitted, such as voting or serving in a volunteer fire department. Hutterites today do not object to any taxes except those specifically designated for war. In the United States, Hutterite colonies pay taxes as corporations. Since individual Hutterites have no property of their own, they pay no individual income tax. With their needs provided for by the community, they also do not receive welfare or social security benefits. Hutterites lose fewer than 2% of their members to apostasy, a rate that has risen in recent years but remains extremely low compared to that of other religious groups. Although a significant number of young Hutterite men leave their colonies to try the world, they usually return and resume their places in their colonies. Modern technology will not necessarily be rejected. Indeed, Hutterites depend on up-to-date equipment such as GPS devices for agriculture to maintain their way of life. Technologies that only provide for personal convenience, however, have no place in community life. Thus, Hutterites typically do not own passenger cars, radios, or televisions. With the increasing demand for education in a modern economy, some Hutterites are reassessing their tradition's long-standing lack of concern for education beyond 8th grade. In recent years, education through the equivalent of a high school diploma has become more common, although most Hutterites still see little value in the individualism and skepticism promoted by university-level education.